Hi, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Life Size Live, the live web show that's produced entirely using the Life Size web, the Life Size solution. I'm James Ofcharzak, your host for today, and today our guest is Ken Conn, who is the president of the U.S. Distance Learning Association, as well as the director of partnerships and collaboration at I2I Technologies. Thanks a lot for joining us today, Ken. Good to see you.
Yeah, great to see you guys too.
Awesome. Excellent. Well, today's topic is about online and distance learning and the demand for it out there today. And we're happy to have you. I want to start really by kind of looping back to a few weeks ago when our CEO, Craig Malloy, spoke to his 22-year wait. And recently, Ken, you put out an article on the Life Size blog where you also kind of spoke to that same 20-year wait as well. I want to quote you here as well. And you said that almost 20 years ago, actually, let's see here, almost 20 years later, I'm happy to say that video conferencing has finally caught up with the promise it made 2 decades ago. So, Ken, I want to know, where were you 20 years ago, and what was that promise that was made?
Yeah, so believe it or not, 20 years ago, this August, actually, I started teaching 5th grade in a school district right outside of Houston, Texas. So as a 5th grade teacher, this is 1998. So if you kind of start thinking about what was your life like in 1998, for me as a new teacher, this is when technology was starting to show up into the classroom. It was a big deal that year that every classroom was going to have a computer in it. With a TV that you could connect to the computer. Email was being rolled out. So it's really when the educational technology started happening in the classroom. And even though being a new teacher, that part of it was new for me. I was taking a lot of classes, professional development classes related to this technology, and I kind of fell into being this de facto go-to person for, hey, how do you do this internet searches? How do you use this? How do you use that? And so, the promise was, this educational technology is going to help us improve our student learning, engage with our students. The part that was difficult was making that all work.
Sure.
That was the difficult part.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So tell me a little bit more. Can you speak a little bit more specifically to what was your specific role in that as well? You said that you were a teacher. But also somehow in there you transitioned kind of into this kind of tech genius by default?
Right. So, I'm not a gadget guy naturally. I really look at technology as something that, what's it going to help me do? What's it going to help me achieve that I couldn't do otherwise? And so, being this person that was learning about all these things, people just say, hey, we have this professional development day coming up. Would you be willing to show us this? I just started using a lot of the different things in the classroom, document cameras, the laptop cart would show up. It's like, how do you use this CD-ROM? How do we do this in the classroom?
Right.
And so, I was on a 6th grade campus. I had moved up to 6th grade, and, these guys were working in this classroom down at the end of the hallway. I was like, what's going on down there? And I went down to check it out, and it was like, whoa, what's this stuff? There were cameras in there. There was a big interactive whiteboard in there, this control room station, and that was kind of my first introduction to video conferencing.
Okay. And so can you speak a little bit to your transition now to the president of the U.S. Distance Learning Association and also your role at I2I Technologies?
Yeah, so it's kind of all intertwined with that. So when this stuff showed up, the school district had kind of written a grant, had gotten awarded the grant, and had a loose idea of, we'll do some classes with this. And then here I was kind of saying, hey, when are you guys going to come over and show me this? When are you going to, when are we going to start using this stuff? What can we do with this? And they were like, you know what, you're so excited about this. Why don't you help us figure out what to do with it? And so I was kind of, on my own trying to figure out how to do all those things. And it was a big learning curve and a big, learning experience for me. Well, we ended up going to the Texas Distance Learning Association, being in right outside the Houston area. And that was my first introduction to like, oh, here are some of my other people that I've been looking for. Here are other people.
Your tribe. You found your tribe.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, these are my people. And so I, immediately saw value in that, got involved in the leadership there, and became president of the Texas Distance Learning Association. And through that, my desire to really connect and collaborate with other people was growing. And the company that helped us put a lot of the technology in the school district, they said, why don't you come and work with us and help, talk about what you're doing at this school district with other people. And so that was kind of how I expanded more into the corporate side of things and working in that area. And then with the USDLA being in the Texas chapter, I got introduced to them through that and helped them with their state chapter program. And the company I was working at, they did some video communication, but it was a small part. We did a lot of just educational technology in the classroom, and I was really missing that. So when I got the opportunity to join IDLI Technologies, and we focused there on that video communication and collaboration piece, and so that was like, okay, here's where I need to be. This is what I'm passionate about. This is how I feel like I can help people best.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Can you speak a little bit to the current demand that you're seeing kind of across the board, the demand for distance learning and kind of just video overall?
Right. So we talked about that promise at the beginning. I was saying, the promise was like, this is going to, improve learning for everybody. This is going to engage students. And, I think it was a promise that was very hard to deliver on. We were sometimes always so focused on making the technology work that sometimes why we were doing it would get lost in it. Or sometimes when we were looking at things, we had almost reverse engineer. It's like, okay, we have this, and how do we help people learn with this? Where I feel like now the technology's finally caught up. It is really easy to use. It's not like just somebody that took all these classes and courses know how to use it, or you need an army of people to help you do it. It has become more easy to use. It has become more flexible. People are looking for that flexibility. So it's like I think the things that we're able to do in our personal lives have helped push our learning environments and our businesses into doing some of these things where before it was like, no, that's locked down. We're not doing that. No, that costs too much money. We're not doing it. It's like, well, wait a minute. I can do this at home. I can connect by video to, my family that is spread out all over the place, right? Why can't I do this in my learning environment? Why can't I do this at work? Why, it's like, just because I can't be in this one location, why does that need to be the reason why I can't do this? And so I think that has pushed the demand for those learning environments. And also we're kind of in this place now where we could do the best of both worlds. When is it appropriate to be asynchronous and do things online at my own pace? And when is it more appropriate to connect by video in real time to have a quick conversation about something or to help process my understanding?
Right. Ken, is there a specific moment in your career where all this kind of hit home for you, where you sort of realized this is why I do what I do?
Yeah, there's lots of aha moments where I've seen the light bulb pop on for people, and it's like, oh, this, I thought this was just a way to meet with people. I could do this and this and this. The one specific moment I remember, and this was back in the day when things were hard, was I had a teacher and a student. So the student got played. We had a program that we did at the school district where we connected students from an alternative learning center back to their home campus to receive some of the classes that they couldn't get otherwise. And so we had basically a teacher and a student that both did not want to really participate in this program. I was having to do a big sell on, hey, no, this is going to be great. Don't worry. You're not even, and I'm thinking, I sure hope this stuff works the way it's supposed to. So I set the equipment up, and I think it was a Calculus 2 class. And so, I get the teacher set up in the classroom. I'm on the student side with the student. We connect the student in, and within 5 minutes, it was like we were all in the same space, just focused on the content, and the technology just melted in the background. And that's when it's like, this is why it's worth all the headaches. This is why it's worth all the prep work. Flash forward to today, and that stuff has completely gone into the background almost 99% of the time. You don't even need to worry about that. You can really focus on what you're trying to accomplish and plug in the technology that helps you do that.
Right. Excellent. Well, thanks for sharing that. It's clear to me that this is an exciting passion for you, and I've been telling everybody, you got to watch today. You got to watch today. I've never seen anybody so fired up about video, and I really appreciate you just taking time to share that with us. Thank you so much, Ken. We appreciate all that you do. And for everybody at home, just to remind you, Life Size Live every Tuesday and Thursday at 11 a.m. Next Tuesday, we've got Michael Helmbrick, who's the Chief Product Officer here at Life Size, who's going to be talking about managing the chaos of video inside the corporate environment. So please join us. And again, thank you, Ken, for your participation today. Have a great day.